Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to another video, and today I'll be doing a quick tutorial on how to replace or change the FPV camera lens as well as focus it correctly on the HS1177. You can see here this is just a foxier version, so a pretty standard cam. I really like this and it's just a great cam, but the stock lens is a 2.8mm lens, so it's not the best, and as well as mine was just a tad bit out of focus. So first what we're going to do is, if you haven't already, I would recommend the little port here. It comes with a cable that connects into the camera. You plug that in, and then you're supposed to make the other ends plug in, but it has barrel connections and I don't have any of them. So basically what I did was I just cut the cable up and made this. I just took a 5-pin cable, a 5-wire cable. This plugs into the camera. I gave power from this from a 3S LiPo, and this end goes to the video transmitter, which then sends 5 volts back into it. So basically I can toggle through the OSD menu with this and be transmitting it, so I don't need to hook it directly up to a screen. I can get it off of, well, my goggles from, just actually receiving the FPV feed. And that enabled me to change the settings to superior ones, as well as put a little text overlay with my name on it if you want to do that. So I'd recommend doing that if you have it out of the copter or before you put it in, because it's just a lot easier that way. So first what we're going to do is, if you take a look at the camera here, you'll see, if it'll focus, that there's a little lock ring around the edge of the lens here. So basically if you try and move the lens, it shouldn't move, depending on if you've already loosened it or not. So you're going to want to take, I've already had mine off, so I should be able to do it with my fingers. Yep, there we go. And if you can't, there's a little flat spot on it. I don't know if you'll be able to see it right there. If you can't, just gently take pliers, there's flat spots on either side, and gently turn that. So basically now I'm just going to move the lens, or the ring, thread it up the lens a little, and then thread the whole lens off here. So as you can see, just keep taking it off. So there we have the sensor inside without the lens on, so just set that there. And now I'm going to take this little lock nut back off of the lens, because I'm going to need it for the new lens I'm installing. This will also be if you break your lens. This here is a Gopro 2 lens, which is awesome. It's a different brand. It's the Cozy. I don't know. I got it. Joshua Bardwell did a video, and he left a link, and I bought it straight from there just so I get the same one. And this is basically the equivalent of a 2.5mm lens. So if you take a look at that, you can see it's a little bit shorter there, and you can definitely see the lens actually itself is much physically larger, as well as the end caps here. So the GoPro will let a lot more light into the sensor to get superior light handling, sharpness, video quality, pretty much everything, as well as a larger field of view. So basically I'm going to take the lock ring and just put that straight onto the lens. And I'm not sure if the Runcam Swift or the Owl or the Eagle, other FPV cameras are all going to be exactly the same in terms of the threads. I know some of them, the lenses hit before they go into focus, so just make sure before you buy some. I'll leave a link to these lenses down below. Then you're just going to screw that in, if I can get it on right. I'm only going to screw it in a little bit. I know that's probably not enough, but I'm going to put the thing up there. So now I'm going to plug this in so I can look at the feed coming off of it, and we're going to get on to focusing this line correctly and tightening it down. Alright, so here we are with the next step. As you can see, I just installed the camera back in the copter real quick, just so I could be able to transmit video from it while I adjust the lens. You can see I have, I don't know if you'll be able to see it, kind of there. My Quantum's hooked up, I'll have DVR footage. So next what you're going to need to do is get one of these. And now this is just a little focusing chart. Interesting to see it through the camera here. You can just print one of these off of just Google camera focusing chart, and I'm sure this will come up a bunch of places. Looks like I got mine from askthecameraman.net. That's a little overlay down there. but I'm not sure, you don't really need one of these, but it will help getting a better focus, and I'll explain that later. And you can also, I'm curious to know, if anyone does know, please comment below, if you'd be able to leave this on your computer screen without actually printing it and focus from there. So let's get focusing. Okay, so here we are, so you can just see the setup. I have the camera here transmitting. I have my goggles down here recording with the DVR so you guys can see as I'll have it up on the screen. And then I have the chart mounted to the wall here, and I'd say it's about 5 feet away. You know, I'm not sure that the exact length you want this to be. It'll vary depending on if you want a closer or a longer range focus, so you can move it forward and backwards, but that's just a general setup. So now let's get moving the camera. Alright, so here we are full time in the DVR feed. As you can see, it is very blurry. That's just how I left it right off the bat. So I'm going to start twisting the lens. I'm twisting it clockwise right now. You can see it's just starting to come into focus a little bit as I move it. You can see there, so I'm going to turn it. And you see how that, as I'm moving it back and forth, the blob on the picture there, it gets bigger and smaller. You want it to get as small as possible. You see if I go too far, it'll get bad again. So you want to get it as small as possible, right in the middle. Right about there. So that's a pretty good focus, as you can see. Oops, I don't know what's happening. My ESCs are hitting, hold on, I'm going to have to replug here. My ESCs were hitting a warning there because they're plugged in for so long. So as you can see, the camera is good. So after that, I'm going to be able to take the lens, hold on here. Okay, now that the lens is all properly focused, we're going to want to tighten this lock ring down. So I'm not actually sure if this is going to work. This is just Loctite that I use on metal screws. I don't know if it actually works on plastic, but I'm just going to drop a little drop in there anyways. This bottle's pretty empty. Okay, there goes that. So now I'm going to try and hold the lens still while I twist this ring, and this can get pretty tricky, and you know, you're probably gonna have to refocus it again, but I should have put the lens closer in while it was on the quad. So now I'm gonna take the pliers and just gently pinch on those flat spots and twist the ring just ever so slightly so it's tighter on there. And you can see, yep, that's in there good. And now our camera looks pretty sweet with the new lens. I just really like how it looks. Feels quite a bit heavier, obviously. But there we go. That was how you focus and replace a lens in the HS1177. And obviously I just replaced that back in. But hopefully you found this video helpful and it helps you replace the lens. And I will be doing a follow-up video comparing footage from this camera, another HS1177. This one with modified settings through the OSD menu with that cable that I mentioned here, and then this new GoPro lens, because all I've been hearing about this lens is fantastic, and then a stock HS1177 with stock settings and the stock 2.8mm lens. It'll be an interesting video, and I'll probably do another follow-up with how I feel about this flying, because I've never flown with anything other than a stock camera before. So hopefully you found this helpful. Stay tuned for the next one. Please subscribe if you aren't already, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.